What's going on, people? It's me again, sitting in front of the camera to talk to you about our favorite show, FishtankLive. This is more of a quickly made video. I'm not setting up the camera for it. I'm not putting my phone in my breast pocket to record audio sloppily. I'm just going to use the iPhone and address some things that happened when I first released the video back around Thanksgiving, I think. A lot has happened since I uploaded that video. Season 5 has started, and it's, I mean, I haven't really watched it, but it doesn't seem like the hype is there. But I guess the main thing that happened as a result of me uploading my video about being wrongly let go from Blood Games 2 was their response. These guys don't respond to anything. They don't respond to like sex pest allegations. They will have a pedophile on the show. I'm sure they won't address that or apologize for that. But this video that at the time had like 2,000 views, they're gonna write this like seething, huge essay about it. They doxed my name. They said I wasn't good for anything. That's what you do when someone sucks at everything they do. You keep them around for a month, and right up until your show is about to get canceled, then you fire them and steal their stuff. I mean, the comment really surprised me, and a lot of people connected to the show who sided with me. They knew about it before I did, because the YouTube app has this stupid like moderation thing. Somebody said, "Did you read the comment?" I'm like, "What comment?" "Oh, they addressed it. They saw the mean things that Fish Tank said about me, and they they chucked it in the garbage." So I pinned it so that wouldn't happen anymore. They said I sucked. They said I was a fuckabout, which is a really funny word. It's funny when it's like I'm showing the passage of time. I've been hiding underground ever since Jet Neptune doxed me. So I'm in kind of my punished mode right now. I got my beard, I've got my hair, my mullet.
God, what should I do? Boss, tell me like you used to.
I appreciate everybody who supported me making that video. And there's a lot of people, you'd be surprised, who I will not name, that reached out to me and said, "Hey, they did this to me. I know somebody they did this to. They stole tools from this guy. They stole tools from me." So it made me feel a little less alone, which is nice. Again, I was really surprised that they addressed it at all. And I was amazed at the lack of tact that they have in everything that they do. None of this had to be this way. If they had like the slightest bit of tact, they lied anyway, so they might as well have lied in a smart way or a diplomatic way. They have like no diplomacy skills. So when it came to like the decision to fire me or let me go or whatever phrase he wants to use, he doesn't like to say fired because I wasn't paid. And he leaves out the part that I wasn't just there to build. I was there to act on the show. Really, all they had to have said, they could have been honest, right? And they could have just said, "Hey man, we gotta let you go because of the turkey thing. Please gather your stuff and leave, and we'll keep in touch and we'll let you know." Like, not to say that they had to do that they had to follow up on that, but like, you just make it sweet. You know what I mean? You say, "Hey, we'll keep in touch, yada yada, handshake. Here, please, let's pick out all your stuff and we'll help you, pack it up and we'll see you around. Best of luck." But they didn't do that. They lied. And then they expected me to just be quiet. And then when I made a video calling them out with evidence, they threw a hissy fit because they're not, I don't know if they're used to that. I don't think they're used to people that have the wherewithal to sit down and make a 40-minute video about their bad experience with them. They're used to having to contend with, and there are some people that I know that have their grievances with them, but they don't, for one reason or another, They choose not to do that, and that's their prerogative. But, you know, they're used to people who are just, like, mentally retarded. You know, they're used to people who are, like, that don't make the case really in a good way. You know, I'm not like that. They're not used to that. I think they got scared by that. Another part of their comment that they were like, "You're exactly who we thought you were. Somebody who would secretly record a conversation." Come on. You run the secret recording show. I mean, season 3, you had the whole incident with the girls changing on camera because they didn't know that they were on a live camera, so they got naked. You know, who was that? That was Mizzy and Banks, I think. And then, you know, the summer phone call, which is a secret recording by Jet. I mean, you guys run the, like, secret spying on people and fucking with people show. The best way to arm yourselves against people secretly recording you after you fuck them over is to not fuck them over. And if you are going to fuck them over, at least do it in a smart, like, diplomatic way. So that was really funny. The people that run the secret recording show are mad because I secretly recorded them because I was getting wise to their bullshitting. Go figure, right? And they made that comment, and a lot of people they got ratioed by replies of people being like, what the fuck are you guys talking about? I mean, bringing up some of these points that I'm already making here. I'll show a few of them on the screen because there were some that I can't remember off the top of my head that they just hit the nail on the head time after time, like person after person after person. And I only saw a few, like, Jet Neptune meat riders, you know, in the comments. And it was like 2 or 3 accounts replying to every single positive comment, you know. So I just got a funny notification. So what I'm saying is how they could have handled it with me is they could have just also said, hey man, they could have avoided the whole aspect of it being my problem, right? Or a problem with me. They could have said, like, hey man, it's looking like because of things outside of our control, which they weren't outside their control, they fucked up. They can't get a permit. They're calling me a fuckabout, but they don't bother getting a permit for their show. And the parties they had there. I mean, they're calling me a fuckabout. Boy, I could tell you. They could have said, hey, we got a lot of problems behind the scenes, and it's looking like we won't be able to do blood games. We might have to delay it or cancel it. We're in trouble, blah, blah, blah. They could have said that and said, hey, man, it looks like the show's not happening at all. So it's been good, you know, handshake, get your stuff, go. I'm doing a lot of this. But they're not smart enough to do anything diplomatic like that, which is like high school level stuff. And then they want to act all big. When I addressed it, they want to act all big in this comment, and Jet wanted to write it like a Donald Trump tweet. And it's just like a modern Donald Trump tweet because it's fucking 4 billion words long, seething and, you know, complaining about my work ethic or whatever. I'm a fuckabout. Yeah, I'm a fuckabout. That's why you let me come up to the house whenever I wanted for a month. And then over one incident, then you decided I was bad from the start, but you kept me around for a month. Okay. You know, when I brought those props, they were impressed. I was making perfect cuts, you know, with in the carpentry department. Like, the giraffe, like, I'll be honest about the giraffe. I put too many screws in it towards the end, but I didn't do the paint job. And, you know, I was given very vague instructions on the giraffe. Jet was leaving for the day. He said, hey, I want you to make a giraffe. And I'm like, okay, do you got any, like, parameters? Do you have a cut list or something? You know, because when you do actual theater carpentry, which I've done, you have a cut list and you're cutting, you know, imagine like your Lego pieces in a list but you have to build them first. You have to actually construct the Lego pieces. That's what it is. You know, oh, you're going to need this kind of piece and this kind of piece and do this. And, you know, I'm not expecting a theater-style cut list by anything, but he just said make it mad big and make it look like the other animals, which were like janky and funny looking, like 2D animals. I'm like, okay. I did what I could. Jet comes home, I'm framing it out, and he's like, I'm like, is it too big? And he laughed and he said, no, dude, you followed instructions perfectly. So it's like, oh, now they decided the giraffe sucked. Now they decided my work sucked. And then the Roman helmet thing is ridiculous because, you know, in part of the comment is like, you were walking around the set wearing a full Roman cosplay. Full Roman cosplay. It was a Roman helmet. It was my Roman helmet that I brought. And the reason I was wearing it was because it would fall off. So I was trying to devise a way to make it stay on while you're walking around. So I tried zip ties. The zip ties didn't really work. And then I used shoelace, like threads to tie it off. So I was walking around with my own helmet, which, you know, not for nothing. It's my fucking helmet. I'm allowed to walk around with it on. But then they're saying it's a full cosplay. Yeah, I got into full cosplay. How dare I get into full cosplay in the cosplay retard show? The LARPing show. So how dare you secretly record us even though we run the secretly recording show? And how dare you wear your own fucking Roman helmet on the set of our LARP cosplay roleplay show? How dare you? It's just ridiculous. This comment's ridiculous. I mean, yesterday, Ben just beat the bricks off of Landon. And I've been, from what I gather, Landon was drunk. And he doesn't know how to box. But is this the second time that Ben just wails on some guy who's drunk and doesn't know how to fight so he can feel like a big man? Does it help him feel better about himself because he has to blow into a fucking breathalyzer to start his car? No. And we can, you know, of course the appeal of the show is like there's a little bit of a mean-spiritedness to it, but it's not like a I don't know, you have that like that joie de vivre of like life to it, like whimsical to it, where it's not that venomous. But I think more and more we're seeing, and I think the audience is seeing, that like these people are just full of venom. They're full of fucking venom. You know, whether it's their comment to me or how they treated me before I even made that video. And like this stuff with Ben and then beating the shit out of a guy who's drunk. You know, it's just ridiculous. And you know, the show is not doing well, from what I gather. Like Bam Margera as a host, it's a great gimmick. It's a great, like, I don't know what you would call it, stunt casting, but it's not delivering. I'm not seeing clips. I'm seeing clips of the girl eating poop, and I'm seeing pictures of those inane twins who do nothing. So that's really all I wanted to say. I just wanted to address the comment. And maybe I should have done it in a more polished way, but I don't feel like doing it that way now, you know? I'm doing whatever I want. I mean, the old video only got like 5,000 views, which is a lot for my channel, and I'm proud of the performance, and I'm proud that it got such a rise out of Jet that he would dox me. But, you know, I'm not expecting a lot. So I feel like when you lower your expectations, you get a better result, which is kind of what happened. You know, why should I care about making them mad? They're like brutish, vile people, and they're ugly inside and out. That's it. Peace be upon you.